Mark Levin, and this is Life, Liberty, and Levin Sunday. Three major topics. I think they will intrigue you. That is this issue of nationwide injunctions, birthright citizenship, and the treaty clause of the Constitution. So it'll be sort of Constitution Day here. But before I get to that, I'm blessed to have these platforms where I hear from millions of people and speak to tens of millions of people every single day. Red-blooded Americans. I call them Mr. and Mrs. America. And in the last week, I've noticed, and they have noticed, and are concerned, and I am concerned, of a growing divide. In fact, what appears to be a hostility against Israel by the United States. I'm confounded by this. I'm truly confounded by this. You know, last time around, Israel couldn't have had a better friend and partner than the administration. But in this last trip, it appears that it is hostility against Israel by the United States. I'm confounded by this. I'm truly confounded by this. You know, last time around, Israel couldn't have had a better friend and partner than the administration. But in this last trip, it appears that Israel's been cut out of every significant decision, not even being informed, whether it's the Houthis, whether it's deals with Qatar, whether it's deals with Saudi Arabia. All of this affects Israel because Israel lives in that neighborhood. And now the Iran deal. And we see all these reports that there's a divide, and then everybody comes out and says there's not a divide. Something's not right. I don't have any inside information, but I've actually never seen anything like this before. Israel has the unfortunate circumstance is that when the Jews were wandering in the desert, God put them in a place where there's no oil. You've got these tiny little fiefdoms, these monarchies, that have hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. Maybe they have a population of 300,000 or 500,000. Enormous sums of money like the world has never seen before. Israel has none of that. It's a tiny country. It is a working man and a working woman's country. That's what it is. And so they can never compete if the competition is about finances. They don't have the gifts. They don't have the resources to lavish on our businesses, to lavish on our government. But what they do have is that what we share with them is the Judeo-Christian values and belief systems that bring Jews and Christians and people together. The same faith in different faiths, the Holy Land. That's what ties America and Israel. People say, what do we get out of this? Everything is not transactional. Everything is not a deal. Some things are much bigger than that. Much bigger than that. I feel we need to have a national discussion about this. I feel that the American people have been cut out of this process. We hear about deals. We hear what the Democrats say, the Republicans say, the administration says, the press says. What about we, the people? What about Mr. and Mrs. America? Do we like Qatar? Do we like Qatar, the protected KSM? The mastermind behind 9/11 who murdered over 2,000 of our American citizens, firefighters, police officers, just workaday people? Most Americans despise that country. How about Saudi Arabia that funded 9/11? How about the 9/11 families? Are they happy with all this? Has anybody asked them? Nobody's asked them. What about reparations? 2,000 of our American citizens, firefighters, police officers, just workaday people? Most Americans despise that country. How about Saudi Arabia that funded 9/11? How about the 9/11 families? Are they happy with all this? Has anybody asked them? Nobody's asked them. What about reparations to Israel? Because Qatar funded Hamas on October 7th. Why don't they pay Israel reparations rather than pressuring Israel to figure out how to handle the result of what Qatar and their puppets, Hamas, have done? I'm just raising these issues. I want a national discussion, a national debate on this issue. That's what America is about. That's what freedom of speech is. That's what communication is. That's what republicanism, small r, is. This isn't an attack on anybody. You in the media, you could twist it any way you want. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. It can be dismissed, it can be embraced, whatever. But that's my view.